Welcome to or welcome back to Snackable Media.
I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Jenny.
Thanks for joining us. Jenny hasn't seen what's been going on in the news this week because she's been at work, and so she doesn't know what happened yesterday with Zelensky and Donald Trump. Jenny, what have you heard this week from the White House?
Just that they were in the Oval Office with JD. That's all I've heard.
Well, after everything was said and done, Donald Trump kicked Zelensky out of the White House and sent him back to the Ukraine.
Whoa! I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it got a little crazy, got a little heated. We're going to take a look at that and see how it went.
Let's roll into it.
This is what I was told. The president has kicked Zelensky out of the White House. His delegation right now is telling him that he's got to go home.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war,
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
don't
was
have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War
What do you-
III.
what do you
You're
think about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. It's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for
what-
the United
what
States
you're
of
speaking
America
about.
and the president who's trying to save your country.
I just have to say I'm really shocked. I would think that Zelensky would come in and not be talking quite so much. He'd actually be listening. I mean, all that's been going on is war, in his country that he's trying to save and whatnot. I haven't heard of anybody who's had any solutions or, even been able to sit down at the table to at least the extent that Donald Trump has been able to sit down at the table with Putin and Zelensky, or the small amount of negotiation that he has been able to do. So you just think a person in Zelensky's position would come in with listening ears on once again and listen and really absorb what President Trump and JD Vance have to say and what their ideas are for peace and for a future for Ukraine.
Well, I mean, I guess that's it too, right? There was clearly a language barrier where he didn't understand what Trump was saying about cards and the gambling. You could clearly tell he didn't understand the analogy. So this hasn't gone bad yet. So let's keep watching and see when it goes bad.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a minute.
answer?
No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
I,
You have a damn
we-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying-
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid
thank-
president, $350 billion.
You
We
voted
gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment.
You
And you
voted
men
for your
are brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't
You
have our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's gonna be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
I
Accept-
said a lot of
accept
times
that
thank
there-
you
accept
to
that-
American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there, you're People are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't,
you're
please,
running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting
Of
killed.
course we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a
But I
ceasefire?
said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire.
guarantees.
Because you get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what-
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was
wasn't
with
with you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person. That was with
This is your
Obama.
president, it was your president.
Excuse me, that was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is, Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You gotta be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards.
You know, this is exactly why it's disrespectful, is that he sits there, and I know that he's used to being this, again, this hero model to the world, and we stood alone, and we're, you know, these soldiers, and we're so tough, and all this. And yeah, you've been at war. Nobody's negating that. Nobody's taking that away. But for you to sit there and say you're on your own is unbelievably disrespectful, because all of the American people have been paying for this, and our future children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren, and everybody, like forever, will be paying for the money that was given to your country to pay for a war that we're not at all involved in, and we really will see no benefits
And
from.
thank goodness we stopped it. Thank goodness that the Democrats are out of power and that the Republicans, Donald Trump, is in power,
Well,
because they even stopped a check, I think, from going over
Yeah,
there, didn't
because
they?
is
Or
this
it would have been
war-
even more money. And if the Democrats had stayed in power, imagine how many more checks would have just been written.
Well, you highlight the main point. Is this war about winning it? Is this war about trying to end it, or I mean, trying to solve it, or in any way? Is it just about money and writing checks over and over and over again? And then this guy coming in and acting like we didn't do nothing for him.
And I'd like to see how Zelensky is living. That's not honest to live that way when your country is in shambles and in dire need, and you're taking the money potentially and doing things to benefit yourself with and your own wealth and your own safety, but not the safety of your people. That's a problem.
Is it about him wanting peace, and that's why Trump sent him home? Go home and figure out whether you actually want peace or whether you just want to keep lining your pockets while your own citizens die, and we pretend that there's somehow a chance that the Ukraine can win this war, because the real reality is the
money's
Ukraine
stopping.
can't. And the
money
Ukraine
is stopping from us.
The Ukraine cannot win this war. That it's not a winnable war. Something has to be, like, are we going to go to the mat with this? Are we going to go to the end of the line with this to take? I mean, I'm not saying what Ukraine should give up, but how far are we willing to go to a nuclear third world war over the Ukraine over this?
Mm-hmm.
So how long are we really gonna just keep doing this and fantasizing about the fact that this war, the Ukraine's gonna somehow win some war against some Goliath that has nuclear capability?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you've made it this far into our video, you should consider hitting like and subscribe. Jenny, you got anything else before we go?
I hope that you liked that snack and that you'll be here next lunchtime.
Comment and share. Thanks again for watching.